All right, guys, welcome back. Boots come in pairs. Thank you for viewership the last couple weeks. We've had some pretty good views on our shorts and on our regular videos. 53 episodes in already, and we're still complaining about Ian Happ. So go check out that one from last week. I think that will be a continued trend for the last 2.5 years of his contract. I just don't see that changing anytime soon. But for this week, some good baseball teams. One of them, I'm wearing the hat. We got the Blue Jays are doing really well, but the Brewers, I don't know. I don't think we're going to catch the Brewers with the pace they're playing. They were kind of talking about, because they're like, oh, did the Cubs collapse? All this kind of stuff, and they were kind of referencing the Miracle Mets when they ran the Cubs down, and they went on to win the World Series. I don't think this is that level. The Brewers, so the Cubs have been 500 over the last 40 games. The Brewers are 30-9 over that same stretch. So that's improbable. That's impossible. So I mean, it's their best stretch in franchise history. So they are literally playing the best baseball they have ever played. What do we make of the no-name Brewers?
The headline actually was they extended it 60 games out. So they are 44-16 in their last 60 games,
Yep.
which that is the best. Like, that's unbelievable. Is that like a 750 win percentage?
Yep.
Like over 600 win percentage at least. I think it's closer to 750, but they're just doing the things that you need to do. And it starts with their pitching. All 5 guys in their starting staff have an ERA of 3.52 or less, and most of them are less. The bullpen has a bunch of guys, like we were talking about last week, who can just buzz people down, strike out people, don't give up a lot of hits or on base, and if they do, they just shut it down. And then their offense, they have their biggest tool is their speed, and they use it. They run the bases well. They steal bases. They beat out infield hits. I feel like that was kind of like the story yesterday. They scored 2 runs with the ball not even leaving the infield. That doesn't happen unless you are hustling or you're getting a little bit lucky, and I think it's a little bit of both. They grind. They pitch well. They're well coached. Catching them, I don't know if it should be the priority. I think the priority for the Cubs should be to make the playoffs. But the Brewers are not going anywhere. They've been beating bad teams. They've been beating everybody, beating good teams. And yeah, they're up 5-1 against Spencer Strider tonight. The Braves suck. The Braves are one of the worst teams in baseball, but that's who's on their schedule. And yeah, we can shake our head all we want, but like they've been doing this for like the last 10 years. That's just what they do.
So one thing I can appreciate about Pat Murphy is he's very honest. He's been very honest all year. They were talking to him early in the season when they were struggling, and they asked him about the roster, and he's like, look, this is the team. I don't know what you want me to do. Well, even on this last stretch, teams are booting the ball on them. They're making a lot of errors. They're throwing the ball around. You're right. The infield hit thing, the ball not leaving the infield, that only happens if you're aggressive and you're putting the ball in play and the other team is making mistakes. And they are. If you play clean baseball, they don't score those runs. And Pat Murphy said just that. He goes, hey, we've been lucky, but we're also putting ourselves in position to get lucky. If you're striking out like the Cubs struck out yesterday, 12 times, you're not really giving yourself a chance to get lucky, right? And even that series that the Cubs just played here, where they lost 2 out of 3. I mean, they made several errors and several errors and walks that just attributed to you're giving this team too much, essentially. So they are a tough team to beat. They said that's kind of their identity, is we want to be a really hard team to beat. We want to make you beat us, and they're doing that right now, and no one's really beating them. Although the Nationals last night also lost to the Athletics 16-8. So they are letting up runs to everybody. The Brewers had like 40-something hits in the first 2 games. So it's like, it's, everyone's scoring runs on the Nationals right now, including Mackenzie Gore, who is rumored at the trade deadline. So, mark safe from that.
Right.
Another team doing really well are the Red Sox. They've surpassed the Yankees in the standing as they continue to slide, and they are just a couple of games behind the Blue Jays and firmly in a wild card spot. 2 weeks ago, we were talking and kind of lamenting about what are they doing, what's their direction. It's not really clear. Now trade deadline is passed. They did not sell, which we thought they were going to sell, which didn't make sense. And now they're kind of sitting in a great spot. They got hot all of a sudden. Roman Anthony is playing phenomenal. What do we do with the Red Sox now? Legit
I mean,
contender?
if man, they are definitely a contender, and they're another team who is just beating everybody in front of them. It doesn't matter if you are a great team or you're not a great team. The Red Sox are playing the best baseball that we've seen them play in the last 3 years. I would take it back to that 20, was it the 22 or the 21 team who we were kind of surprised that they caught fire, and they
Fizzled.
because it would have been two seasons in a row where they finished with the same record, and they were on pace to do that again this year until they caught fire. So this team is just, they're just built different than the other teams, and it starts with their presence on the mound. Having a legit staff ace like Garrett Crochet, which, as much as people like to criticize Breslow, that was a great trade,
He's
and it
been
was a
phenomenal.
great
Yeah.
extension. He has been the best. I mean, and I'm even putting him ahead of Tarek Skubal at this point. If he wins the pitching triple crown, which he has 2 out of the 3 right now, he should win the Cy Young, and he's dominant. Last night or the other night when he started, um, through 7+ innings. He was throwing 98 in his final inning, and he struck someone out. He was pumped. They said, you have not seen this side of Garrett Crochet. He loves to compete. He's intense. He kind of reminds me of Chris Sale in that way. Seeing him dominate, but then Lucas Giolito is pitching phenomenally. He's been going in this past 5 or 6 starts. He's actually been better than Crochet, which is great to see because they need it. They
He's
need
he's a guy
Lucas Giolito.
coming off injury. You didn't know what you were going to get out of Giolito. First couple starts were not good, but yeah, he's been excellent.
Right. And then to cap it all off, Brian Bayo has been lights out. ERA in the low threes. Another guy, you have invested a lot of money in him. He's a young guy. He has so much potential, and he's finally putting it together. And it probably helps to have two veterans like Giolito and Crochet kind of leading him along and kind of following in their footsteps in a good way. Just
Yeah.
you could kind of get inspired by your fellow running mates, and they're just doing great. The bullpen has been phenomenal. Aroldis Chapman is probably the best reliever in baseball. Has like a 1.5 ERA, 0.76 WHIP, 21 saves, is like unhittable down the stretch. And then the offense.
Yeah.
You were talking about them. There was a lot of questions. They had a lot of very highly sought after pieces. They had a log jam. Roman Anthony's kind of forced his way into competition and starting and hitting high in the lineup. And it's like, well, you have all these outfielders and you have all these bats. Like, how are you going to figure out how to play them all? Jaron Duran was a possible trade chip. Wilyer Abreu. They have so many talented players. And then you got Ceddanne Rafaela, obviously, emerging. But
Yeah.
standing pat, not dealing any of those guys who are major league ready. They're great. And just kind of rolling with what you got and figuring out how to get them all in the same lineup.
Well,
I mean,
all of a
they
sudden,
are on fire.
again, you find a spot for, I think, Marcelo Mayer. He is not quite ready. You brought him up
Yeah.
because Bregman got hurt, and again, you take whatever you can get out of him. I mean, Roman Anthony also started off a little slow, but again, Marcelo Mayer is probably just not quite ready. But having Rafaela go to second base, and then
Yeah.
cementing the outfield with, has Duran moved back to center?
Duran's been playing some center.
Yeah,
He's been
I
playing
like him out
center.
there, but now you have Anthony, Duran, Abreu, and now you have Bregman, Story, Rafaela, Toro, whoever at first base. That's fine, but
Romy,
yeah,
Toro, Romy. I
it's
mean,
been it's a much better lineup, especially getting Bregman back. He's been really good. So yeah, that's kind of the catalyst, and you don't miss as crazy as it is, you don't miss Rafael Devers at
No,
all.
no, and like this lineup, they're all pulling for each other. They're all on the gas.
Yep.
They're trying to they're tired of being in third place. They're tired of being in fourth place. They're tired of missing the postseason. Like these guys are electric. They're fun. It's good for the game for this Red Sox team to be doing well. And you just listening, they mic'd up Ceddanne Raphael the other night, and he was playing. I think he was playing center at the time. And keep in mind, this guy is an elite center fielder, like probably one of the best center fielders in the game. He's probably the best center fielder in the American League. Pete obviously has the National League locked up, but Ceddanne Rafaela is elite, and he just mic'd up, clear as day. I will do whatever I can to help this team win. Like second
Yep.
base is fun. I love being in the outfield, but whatever we need to do, we have a lot of talented players. Like Wilyer Abreu is a Gold Glove right fielder.
Yeah.
Jaron Duran is a Gold Glove caliber outfielder. They have and Sadan knows that he's great, but like he's doing the second base has been kind of a hiccup for them.
Second
And
base.
same with first.
Second base has been since Dustin Pedroia retired. Second base has been an impossible position for the Red Sox to fill. And if they put a guy like that at second base, that is an immediate upgrade. So, yeah, if that's what they can do. The only problem with the Red Sox run is that the Blue Jays are essentially matching it. They have outscored the Rockies. Again, I know it's the Rockies, but the Cubs were struggling to score runs against the Rockies. 55-6, 20 runs today. That's 55-6. I mean, and they've just been lights out. They lead the division by 3.5 games right now.
3.5, and they're now
trail the Brewers.
And they're 20 games over 500.
Yeah.
It's been. I feel like with them, it's the pitching has been okay, not great. Like relief and starting pitching has been, but it's been the defense and the offense. And the offense, I mean, we are looking at a I would possibly call Bo Bichette the comeback player of the year. Bo Bichette is having a phenomenal year. He's pretty much on pace to repeat his 2021 numbers, where that was a year that him and Vladdy really went off, both of them. And you're like, wow, these guys are 23 years old, 24 years old, and they're doing this. It's crazy.
Bo Bichette
he's playing great defense.
He had a 2-game stretch last week where he had 9 hits in 2 days. 9 hits is crazy. That is a crazy amount. Like he had 12 hits last week. He has 27 hits in the last 2 weeks. He has 43 hits in the last month. That's half a season for some of these guys. I think
he's leading. He's leading baseball. He's leading baseball in hits. Bo is like when you see him struggle, it's mind boggling. I mean, he's so talented. I mean, there was chatter in the offseason that like there were teams wanting to trade for him to be a third baseman or be a shortstop or something. Like
the Cubs were
like
part of that rumor. It's like and before they signed, we had this discussion. We talked about this during the offseason, especially after the Blue Jays re-upped Vlad Guerrero Jr. So we're like, oh, is that a potential first base option for the Cubs? And it's like, nope, they re-upped him. And we're kind of like, what are the Blue Jays doing? What's their plan? Are they just going to run it back? Apparently, yes, they are. They're just going to play a heck of a lot better than they've played the last couple of years, and Bo Bichette's going to be healthy and return to form. Which, again, you just never know. But that's been working for them. And the cast around, those couple guys, Barger's been really good. We've talked about him a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ernie Clement.
Yeah. Kirk has returned to All-Star.
Oh, Ollie, yeah.
And then the pitching, they have good pitching. It just hadn't been going well. But all of a sudden, Barrios is pitching well. Gossman's pitching well. It's the same team. It's kind of, you know what? Like Baltimore right now is not playing well, right? But you have all this talent. Like we saw that against the Cubs. Like all of a sudden they're down, and then all of a sudden Gunnar Henderson decides I'm going to be that top, 5 prospect that I am and that was, and just hit a 3-run homer and win a game. So I think the Orioles can look at what the Blue Jays are doing and go, hey, we're still good. We can do that.
Hmm.
We're just having a down
Right.
year, right?
Right. Right. Add a couple guys. A couple guys step up, or more so enter their prime. And yeah, they'll be right back in it. But yeah, Toronto. It's fun. It's fun to see the Yankees not doing well. But it is fun to see these teams doing well. And yeah, like along with Bichette, like I've been I've been complaining about Vladimir Guerrero Jr. all year. He's on my fantasy team. I've been calling him a glorified singles hitter, but like he is so good. And when he heats up, and he's starting to heat up, he is dangerous. And his wins above replacement is higher than Bichette's. Like he's getting on at I think it's a career best clip. I think his OPS might be the second or third best of his career right now. He's playing elite defense. His defense has leaps and bounds gotten better. And like they don't even have Springer right now. Like Springer's is working his way back, and he's having the best year he's had in years. And yeah, like you were saying, the supporting cast around them. Yeah, Barger, Ernie Clement, Alejandro Kirk, even Dalton Varsho just came back from injury, and he's starting to hit some bombs.
Yeah.
So they're a fun team to watch.
These names again, they're not new to Blue Jay fans. It's just guys coming back and playing up to their ability and executing. That's really all it is, in my opinion. They've been this team. They just have been a severe disappointment the last, I would say, 3-4 years since they made that initial push. And you're like, oh my gosh, the Blue Jays are here. Like they have all these former players' kids, and this is what they're doing. But yeah, they've made that clear. Beating on the Yankees, we can switch over to that. There's been some really, really cold teams lately, and a lot of them reside in the New York area. The Yankees have not won a game since the trade deadline, which is kind of crazy. Devin Williams has been,
until today.
They went today? Okay, old
They
information.
did win today.
But it was a fun stat while it lasted. They added Bednar and someone else, Doval from the Giants, and immediately both guys come into the game they were in and let up runs. Kind of funny. Devin Williams has been horrible. He's got a 5.44 ERA for the year. Brutal. Which is not on par for his career stat line, but different environment. It's been since day one with him in New York. He just has not handled the pressure very well. Aaron Judge is out. That's a big blow for them. Is this the end of Aaron Boone in New York?
It might be. He's getting a little testy too, like with the media, and I don't, honestly, man, I liked him as an analyst, but when he took over as manager, I'm like, something's just not like, I don't know. He's changed, which I guess you have to, from being a media personality to being the manager of a professional baseball team, especially a team like the Yankees. But I don't know. It could be, especially if there's a third place finish with no playoffs. It could be the end. I mean, I don't really know how to think about that.
I'm not an Aaron Boone apologist, but I do understand the media frustration. We see it in Chicago, especially around football. It's obnoxious. 5 games into the year, it's like fire everybody. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What are we doing? We've seen the tragic end of that. Firing coaches is not always the answer. But the New York media is also the same. Aaron Boone does a hit with John Boy, and he's really candid with him because he can be, but he goes, man, you guys ask the same questions every day, and you want a different answer, and you base it off of if a guy is happy or sad that day when you ask it. He goes, we're just trying to play a long season game. Every day we got a game. Every day we got something going on, and it's just, you can see the fatigue from answering the repetitive questions, and there is a certain point where it's like, not that like you just need to accept the result, but it's like, what do you want me to tell you, and what do you want me to do? And you can tell this team is sliding. You lost your best player. You lost the potential MVP of the American League. And yeah, it might cost Aaron Boone his job because he just hasn't been able to capture the World Series. They were in the World Series last year. You forget that because it's
Mm-hmm.
just we're that far removed from it. But in New York, it's been an eternity since they won. Is it his fault? But yeah, if he's getting testy with the media, it's because they're so repetitive with their questions, and
Mm-hmm.
they want answers, they want heads, they want explanation.
Right. Right. And maybe he should take a page out of like Craig's book and answer questions like Craig does. I feel like Craig keeps it really simple. He doesn't get too emotional, which can be frustrating at times, but I feel like
Well,
that's the best way to handle it.
Craig has explained that multiple times, and he goes, "Look, if you're if you're a baseball fan, it's a long season. We're gonna win. We're gonna go on hot streaks. We're going on cold streaks. Blah blah blah." And that again, that can get old after a while because you want the sense of urgency. But he's right. I mean, that it. What do you want? What do you want me to tell you? Because they've asked him several times on the score, like, because he'll come on and do a weekly hit, and they go, "What's the anxiety level in the clubhouse?" And he's like, "No, like, what's the point?" And you see these guys again. It has not been going well for the Cubs the last couple of weeks either, but they still go out there every day. They have fun. They're still playing baseball. They still know there's games at hand. They still have 5 against the Brewers, right? So the division's not lost in their eyes. But they know it's crunch time. They know these games matter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, from the manager perspective, he's got to go out there every day and face the media. And some of it too, as you can tell, because Craig's got a long deal here. He's got to also be in line with the front office and like, hey, Jed's making these moves. This is what we're doing. I think they asked him about the trade deadline too. They go, "What's your favorite part about the trade deadline?" He goes, "My roster is set. I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
wonder who's going to be here or not. Like this is my roster." Other than Nate Pearson, I didn't understand. Again,
Right.
last night we got to do Nate Pearson. I don't know why, but
Right.
yeah, or Soroka only getting 2 innings of work. But
Right.
yeah, the New York thing is also interesting. The Mets are also not playing well. They almost got no hit today. I saw that
Mm-hmm.
towards the end of the game. I saw the no hitter alert, so I tuned into that for a minute just to see where that was at. I was like, oh, I'm piquing my interest now. But yeah,
Right.
that's we could be in that state of mind too.
Right, right. And the Mets, I mean, obviously their pitching is really good. I think the issue mainly has been the inconsistency of the offense, and the biggest thing that I've seen is they have not been able to get their big three going at the same time. Um, Frankie Lindor has struggled mightily. June and July, or June and July, he was hitting just over 200 in each month. This month, he's hitting 386, so he's starting to heat up a little bit. Pete Alonso was doing really well. His batting average and like extra base hits dropped off a cliff. He hit 141 last month, but in August he's hitting 421. He's starting to find it again. He had 4 hits the other night, starting to get it back. Juan Soto um, was hitting cold, hit about 320, 330 in June. That was his big month. And then July, he kind of dropped off again. And now this month, he's kind of picking it back up again. So it's like, if you can get those 3 guys going at the same time, that it will be the key to unlock the offense. I mean, Mark Vientos is kind of taking a step back in his sophomore year, but Nemo's playing well.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with
They
Brett
have enough.
Beatty. He's
Beatty,
in
yeah,
hitting
Beatty's gone.
He's hitting 228. He had a
Yeah,
really
that's
good
not what
series
they
against
need.
the Cubs where he hit a couple homers, and he really
Yeah,
hasn't done anything since then. So
right,
yeah, he's an interesting guy. But I mean, again, they're a team that's always looking to add.
right,
But right now they're the third wild card slot by 3 games, which again
right,
they're still 11 games above 500. And I would love to be again. I'm glad the Cubs are above them, but at 2-8 their last 10,
right.
not great. Lost 4 in a row, but they are still a good ball club. I would take them in a 7-game series with their roster over most.
Mhm. Right.
And then again, the Cubs, the other team. We're kind of picking because the Yankees. I just had to check. The Yankees are still a wild card team at this point. They're third place
Yep.
in the division, but they're 61 and 54. They're a game and a half ahead of both the Guardians and the Rangers. So we are kind of picking on these teams, but it is kind of just that ebb and flow as well of a baseball season where you're not going to be up here the whole time. Even the Brewers fans, if you talked to them the first week of the season, they were down here. They were like, this team sucks. Caleb Durbin, what are we doing with this guy? You know, Isaac Collins, who are these guys? What are we doing? And now all of a sudden it's like, this is my team. These are my guys. They're buying, you know, Andrew Vaughn jerseys left and right. But it's just, again, ebb and flow. I would take the position of any of those teams right now because you are technically a playoff team at this point in time, and then you just take your chances in the playoffs.
Right.
So, yeah, are we willing to call even the Cubs? Are we willing to put them in that situation? The bats are cold. You know, the pitching's been great the last couple of weeks, but they're not hitting like they were in, you know, April, May, June. They're not having these 9-run comeback games. And Jed kind of addressed that yesterday. He was talking because he addressed Michael Soroka and how that, we took a gamble, didn't work, blah, blah, blah. But he also was talking about how everyone's kind of cold right now. And he goes, it wasn't sustainable what we were doing. And now we're kind of leveling off. He goes, but hopefully we swing back a little bit and go the other direction.
Right.
Yeah, today was a good win. They finally got, you know, took 1 out of 3 from the Reds, which isn't great. But I think you have to keep looking forward.
Ran into 3 good pitchers too. I mean, for them to win, and that's kind of been the past couple series that they have lost. It's kind of been drop 2 and then pick up the last one with some thunder. For them to score 4+ runs on Andrew Abbott, someone who has dominated them this year, that's impressive. It's great to see. It was great to see Seiya actually hit the ball and hit another homer. It's been a while. He's not been great.
He hit 3 good balls today. The homer was 110 off the bat, so he hit it hard. I don't care about that metric other than saying that he hit the ball hard.
Right. But they need Tuck to figure it out. He's kind of rolling over a lot. Swing's getting long. And PCA is really streaky. I was saying last week or a couple of weeks ago, like Nico's really the only guy who's consistently making contact a lot. They're when a tough lefty's on the mound, they're sitting Bush and playing Turner. I think they're trying to figure it out, but I do expect the pendulum to kind of swing back in the other direction. They'll pick up some games. They'll start hitting again. But, yeah, it's just tough, especially when the starting staff is going out there and really, firing on all cylinders. They've been banged up all year, but had another great outing today from Cade Horton through, I think there was the stat.
23 and a third innings or whatever, or 21 and whatever. I think it's 23 innings without an earned run in the last.
Right.
Again, he's not going deep into ball games. He only threw 67 pitches today, but very effective.
But protect him. Very effective, and I think they said it was about 86.3% of his pitches were for strikes today, just pounding the zone. He has electric stuff. He throws hard. He's got a lot of movement. The changeup's nasty. The curveball's nasty. They could not have asked for more. He's doing everything they need him to do. He's really stepped up with Justin Steele being out for most of the year, and then not having Tyone. You're hoping that they can Tyone and Assad can both come back and contribute in a big way. It sucked to see Soroka go down because he actually looks really good. He definitely has that nasty stuff, but yeah, it's going to be a combination of getting some of these guys back healthy and then the bats igniting again. They have it. I don't know if the goal should be to catch the Brewers like we were saying before, but just get back to where you're strong and win some games and make the playoffs. I mean, if you make the playoffs, anything can happen.
Yep. From the beginning, I wasn't thinking they were going to be the best team in the National League at the All-Star break, which they were. But if you can just get into the playoffs, and if they slid even to the 3rd wild card spot, I don't care at this point, just because you need some playoff baseball. Give us a 3-game wild card series at Wrigley. That'd be fantastic. But you need to move in that direction, because I think what that does is it gives the front office also a taste of postseason again and go, oh, yeah, this is what we've been missing out on the last couple of years. And if you can take a game or two or win a series, then you're like, oh, my gosh, we're on the cusp, right? We're right there. we are missing a third baseman. Oh, we were missing a starter. Now let's go get that in the offseason.
Right.
Again, you could make a run in the postseason. I'm not saying that, but it just dangles that carrot. But when you continually miss the playoffs and you still draw, 4 million fans every year,
Mm-hmm.
we're not. What the again? We can go back. What the Brewers owner said at the beginning is, we provide summer of entertainment. That is not. It kind of holds water. Again, if the Brewers don't win again this year, it's like, well, we had a really good summer, right? But like
Right. Yeah.
that is not the end goal. And you know what? They're
No.
having a really good summer, but it's
Right.
it's you got to strive for more. And I think, kind of to tie this full circle with the Brewers, because they're just not as talented. You say whatever they want about the stress they're on right now and how hot they are. They are not as talented as these other teams. So if you put them in a 7-game series with the Dodgers in the playoffs, I know they just swept them. They just beat them 6 games in a row within a 2-week stretch. But there's a difference between now and October. And that I would take the Dodgers 10 times out of 10 in a 7-game series. And the Brewers may win. They may win this one, but I would still bet my money on the Dodgers and the Padres and the Mets, just because they have more fuel. They have more gas in the tank there. So, that's just my opinion. Even the Phillies, those are really tough teams and really talented teams, and they're not beating you with infield singles. I'll say that.
No. No. No, they're not. Well, yeah, we can just hope for just stringing it together. They have a pretty favorable schedule down the stretch. There's potential to win a lot of games, and if you can kind of aim for that 90 to 95 wins, very doable. They can definitely accomplish that, and we'll see. Just got to get back to doing what they do best.
Yep, absolutely. Last conversational point for tonight, and it hurts every time this guy hits a home run. It hurts. The emergence again of Kyle Schwarber, who we talked last time about after winning the All-Star game on the home run derby extra thing. And this is your point, but I think it's very valid. Is he a front runner for the NL MVP? And we've kind of talked, I feel like now it feels a little more tongue-in-cheek talking about PCA, because you're right. He has been a little streaky. He's not keeping up the numbers. He's still having an amazing season. Fangraphs was way off on his projection. But Kyle Schwarber, on the other hand, just eclipsed the 40 home run mark again. Drove in 6 RBIs the other night on 2 homers. He's just a game wrecker. And in my opinion, is very valuable to the Phillies. Kyle Schwarber, NL MVP. I don't think that's far-fetched.
He has definitely entered the chat for sure. Game wrecker, has been a game wrecker his entire career, really. But these past 4 or 5 years, like really since he was, I would say booted out of Chicago. They essentially cut him. They let him walk. Someone with, just exceptional, I would say like once in a generation type power. He does things with the bat that hardly anybody can do. Just majestic long homers, and he's figuring out how to make the most out of the at bat. Like whether it's he hit under 200 for a season, but still had like a 350 on base and hit like 46 homers. Like he's been averaging over 40 homers a year for the last 5 years since 2021. Unbelievable. There was a graphic that flew up the other night. Does he have a chance to hit 500? I think he does. And if they win, if he's able to either win with the Phillies or go to another team and win, I know the Red Sox have been very interested in the possibility of having him join their club again. But like if he ends his career hitting 500 homers, has a nice OPS, wins a few World Series, does he enter that conversation of being one of the best to ever do it? And it's like, it's hard to argue that wouldn't be the case.
What's maddening is, so the Cubs released him after the COVID year. you gotta flush that. His last year with the full year with the Cubs, 2019, 38 homers, 92 RBIs, and hit 250. I would take that 100 times out of 100. I mean, the batting average was always a thing where it's like, oh, he doesn't get on base enough. But you're right. He has hit the last 4 years with Philly 46 homers, 47 homers, 38 homers. He is at 40 already. He has his highest career batting average is current right now at 258. He's striking out less than he has. He's had a couple 200 strikeout seasons, but to hit 46 homers, I will take. You can strike out 300 times. I don't care. 46 home runs is damaging. I mean,
yeah,
he's got 94 RBIs already this year. Again, we are 113 games, so he's got another 40-plus games to add to that total. He will smash his career high for sure.
He's already scored 79 runs. He has a 965 OPS. He walks a ton.
Yeah.
He's hitting near the top. He's been hitting near the top of that lineup. Literally since he left the Cubs, he's been hitting, I would say, top 3 or 4 in the lineup for all of these. With the Nationals, with the Red Sox, he was awesome. With the Phillies, he's been great. And he's just DHing, but like that was phenomenal. That Red Sox year was awesome.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what got him the contract, was performing for the Red Sox. That contract with Philly, but I mean, he's been great for Philly. Does everything they asked, and he's a DH for them, but like he was a good outfielder for the Cubs. He was doing all the stuff that Hap's doing.
Yeah. He can play left field if you need him to. And that's what
he had a better arm.
Every time I go back to the Ian Happ thing, it's like, well, you know what? Kyle Schwarber could play an adequate left field and hit way more homers, obviously. And you brought up a good point. I was going to ask, do you think he can get to 500 homers? I don't think I mean, if he stays healthy and he just continues he's 32, you give me 5 more years of decent home run production, he's there. I mean, does that mean, is he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about. And if the Cubs, I'm not sure what they were thinking. I'm not sure what Ian Happ showed them that would make them choose. And like we've talked about this before, they parted with their cast of stars at the right time. Every single one of them, except for Schwarber. He's the only one who, and I think the entire fan base felt that way too. Yeah. Like, why are we giving up on this guy? Yeah. He just has something special that not a lot of people can do.
Yeah, Javi gave you a little glimmer of like, oh, maybe we missed something there, but he's kind of back to his same old bag. But yeah, this guy is just, because now like Ohtani, like we've kind of talked ad nauseum about, he's not having the same year he had last year. Now the pitching's kind of like questionable because he did something that strange, but like the impact that he is making on the Phillies and just the overall season he's having, he's already, again, I don't like WAR, but it's the only way you can measure different years. He's already has his highest WAR season with 40 games left. He's already at 4.1, and I would value him higher than that. It's just the numbers don't lie, and he's having a terrific season, and he's had a terrific career, honestly, to this point.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, and great dude as well. Very humble, and whoever is lucky enough to garner his services next year, he's ready. He'll. I don't know if it's going to be Philly, but like he is sought after.
If he somehow gets out of Philly, somehow, where it's just like, you know what, we're not willing to offer him the money, and the Cubs don't pursue him in some form, that is a sham. I don't know why, and maybe he doesn't want to come back here. Maybe he felt burned by Theo and whatever, but the Cubs, every team could use his bat.
Could you imagine him in this lineup? Could you imagine him in that lineup?
Even
that like changes things.
Yeah. Even if you put, again, we like to, wipe Ian Happ off the roster. even if you have to play, say, a Suzuki in left field, he's shown he's not a good right fielder. He can play adequate enough in left field. Again, it's not a pressure spot. The Gold Glove in left field doesn't matter to me as much. If you inserted Suzuki to there and then Schwarber and his 40 home runs to the DH slot, and they already had they have a top 4 offense already, even with this current slide. Yeah, that would, unfathomable.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with it. Yeah, but also, so there's another interesting thought, and we can slide over to the AL for just a minute. Aaron Judge, obviously out for a while. When he comes back, he might be exclusively a DH. Cal Raleigh has slid a little bit. This was the point that was brought up that I saw today. If Jose Ramirez can lead the Guardians to the playoffs, is he the AL MVP?
They're playing well.
They're playing well. And he just produces solid year after solid year. Right?
He's going to be a 30-30 guy.
Again, right?
Again.
And again, Cal Raleigh is still ridiculous. I still think give it to him, but entered the chat.
Right. Yeah. I mean, one of these days it's got to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like the things that he does.
How many games are they behind the Tigers?
Tigers, not that many.
They are 6 games behind the Tigers. Okay, maybe not.
Right.
But the Tigers have been sliding too. If they somehow,
right, they just lost again today.
If they somehow supplant the Tigers and win the division, because Cal Raleigh's on a technically non-playoff team right now, so that's the only problem you have with that. Even though he's absolutely ridiculous with the power numbers, batting average, but yeah. So that's a question. We'll have to monitor that as we go forward. But yeah, we're starting to get into that time of year where you're scoreboard watching, you're paying attention to the MVP races, the Cy Young races. So we'll get into all that down the stretch, but things are starting to clump other than the Brewers. Don't know what to do about it, Yeah, we can sit here and complain, but again, they just keep winning. So what are you going to do about
it? They keep winning.
Yeah.
Want to shout out the Red Sox before we go, signing their young superstar Roman Anthony to an 8-year, $130 million deal, locking down that young talent for multiple years. Kind of following the trend of a lot of these teams signing their young superstar. It's a great contract for him, being as young as he is. They're taking a risk on him, but fully knowing what he's capable of and who he could become, which is a key piece to this dynamic lineup, and hopefully somebody who can lead their team to several playoff appearances in the future. But yeah, I love the move. He's an exceptional talent, and good on Breslow and the front office for getting that deal done. I wish that more teams would do that. The Cubs probably would have been smart to do that when PCA first came up before this year. But.
So part of it is because they did that with Christian Campbell as well, 6 games into the year. I forgot the numbers on him. I think it was $80 million. Jackson Merrill signed a longer deal with the Padres. The problem is when it doesn't work out, and I'm not saying Christian Campbell didn't work out, but he is now playing in Worcester. He is in AAA.
Right.
So
and doing really well.
He's doing well. Okay, but that's where I understand the Cubs' hesitancy before this season to long-term sign PCA when he's already signed technically for the next 5 years because he only has a year and a half of service time. So I understand it. However, he just got a lot more expensive than 130 depending on how he finishes this year. And again, for the Cubs, you can wait and see, but the longer you wait and see, I agree, you're less likely to sign these guys. So, yeah, good for Roman Anthony to get some money. He has played very well. When he first came up, it took him a while to get going, and that's okay. He has figured it out. He's hitting 285. So, yeah, good for them. Glad to see it. Sometimes
he was running into some tough luck. He was hitting the ball hard. It was just right at people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
sometimes we've seen these deals. So the White Sox are historic for doing these kind of early deals, but really undervaluing the contracts. They gave Luis Robert like a $50 million contract. They gave Moncada an early, and again, they just didn't work out. But if you sign the right guys, Roman Anthony is the number one prospect in baseball. He is no longer a prospect. He's just a good outfielder now. So yeah, good for him. Good to sign him. Yeah, unfortunately, the Cubs could not get that done for PCA, but a lot more unknowns there. He also had been up and down last year, so it's just so hard to gauge. But yeah, I would say for the Red Sox, good for them for him accepting that deal, because I think he probably could have got more. So especially with the way baseball money's going.
I mean, but that's like $15 million a year. You're 21 years old. That's $15 million every single year until you're like, he's gonna be hitting free agency at like 29.
Yeah.
And he can get a bigger bag if he performs. So to me, 15 mil a year is pretty nice for a 21-year-old.
Pretty nice. And I don't know how it really works with arbitration. I'm not 100% sure, but when you're on that rookie deal, it's a 7-year till you get your first contract, and I know they go to arbitration, they can figure out a number, but otherwise, I think you just got to kick rocks and be like, oh, you're signed. Like, sorry, like I don't know what to tell you. Like you want to play Major League Baseball, sometimes you got to play it for less than you're worth. But yeah, again, good for them for kind of wiping that out. It's just there's money in baseball. Any of these guys that tell you there's not. And that's why, again, I don't want to jinx it, but they're probably headed for a work stoppage at the end of this year. But there's a lot to figure out with that. But
there is
for them to lock him up, that's good, and we'll see if long term if that's a new World Series builder for them.
For sure.
All right. Well, by the next time we talk, I was looking to it. So I did go to the Cubs series a couple weeks ago. Tuesday, I'm not going to go. I want to go. Paul Skeens is pitching in Milwaukee. I'm very tempted. The tickets are not expensive.
Oh
I even looked. You can get. So we saw Mizorowski pitch a couple weeks ago in the Cubs series. We were sitting on the side though, so you really can't see what he's throwing from the side. So I looked. There's seats 18 rows behind home plate for like $60, and I'm like, but I'm not gonna go. I have other things to do, but we're on a budget. But that would be nice. But yeah, that's a sidebar.
Right.
But yeah, in next couple weeks we'll see where things go. Again, we have a huge 5-game series with the Brewers in 2 weeks from now, which we are going to talk in the middle of that thing. So
yeah, I'm going to try to go to the afternoon game.
That's right.
The last game of the series.
There you go.
I'm going to try.
But yeah, so we will have a much more clear idea of where the division is at that point in time. And probably some other pennant races as well. We'll see if maybe some teams rebound, or the Guardians supplant the Tigers in that 2-week span, but we'll see. Wishful thinking. Yeah. Until next time, like, follow, subscribe, listen. Thanks for all the support so far. Blues come in pairs. Take it easy.
Peace.